So we got losers finals right here. Eclipse, Shadowcat. I think they only played once. May have been only once. No, they haven't played one. It was double versus Eclipse. So I don't think these guys have played at all in tournament. I'm actually surprised Shadowcat going breaks in for this. When he's been going Darkrai the entire tournament. He's been really solid with breaks in no matter when he pulls them out. So catches him with the take grab right there. That's such a nasty mix up. Because you can't tell when the 4Y is coming out, and then by the time you realize it, it's too late. You can get hit by a grab 4Y mix up in that situation, or back Y. Skill burst. I told you, his man allows you to punish that, which is crazy.
But Shadowcat is not making it easy. Even when Shadowcat's behind, he still makes it hard to just get in and find that hit.
16 seconds left on the clock here. Eclipse now does no longer have.
I think he's already playing compared to him watching Shadowcat versus Mutator. He's already playing the corner much more solid compared to Eclipse. Oh, missed the punish. Okay, 2 seconds. Yep, that's gonna close it. I think it's a little bit too desperate from an Eclipse at that situation. I think I was definitely too aggressive here. At 3 seconds, you still have enough time for at least a dash up into one last situation. With how close your health is, man. 3 seconds can be an eternity for a lot of players.
I mean, the keynote, which is kind of surprising because we know he can beat Shadowcat. He's done it before, so I'm kind of surprised he's getting that impatient against Shadowcat.
Oh, he's done it before? Okay. I thought they never played against each other, or at least I haven't remembered they have. Nice whiff punish.
But here, this is a matchup he's played before. It isn't necessarily impossible for him. So that impatience, I guess, was just the clock.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Such an awful autocorrect.
He grabs the wrong way and he gets crit JX for it.
That's so bad for Eclipse because he could have evened out the health totals and made it so he could play his game.
So if it's one thing you're gonna see Eclipse actually trailing most of this match, or most of the entire set, and he makes a comeback just to really kind of like stay into the set.
Eclipse doesn't have burst. He has to approach.
And I think
for like half the meter, and he's almost at
I think partially this is due to him not knowing how to exactly open up Shadowcat in this situation, in a handful of the situations, really. Because it isn't until when he's on the ropes, kind of like this, where he starts going gung ho and trying to really like just force his will to play, force his style out of it. The longer I've really watched this matchup, and the more I thought about it, the more I've think that Weavile really has to be the aggressor of this situation, or this matchup at least. Being defensive, you don't really have too much that you can threaten against breaks in, and then not only that, light screen can take away from a lot of icicle crash spacing that you have. So once that breaks in really gets momentum, and you can see it right here. Once again, it's just run and train. That Weavile's on the defensive, it doesn't really help. Not against breaks in. Not as much as I would suspect to. And honestly, I think if you see how his face is right here, he looks pretty defeated. So I definitely did not expect him to really make the set that close.
Right away. Oh, he's gonna get crit grabbed. That's gonna be it.
I feel like I'm not sure what Eclipse can do to like,
Man.
fix this issue, 'cause I
No
feel like
reaction
the
to
entire game
dash.
kinda crumbled.
That was like a
And
full
Graham was like,
dash.
Okay, what do I do now? My entire game plan just isn't working.
Yeah. He's going to finally use meter here. He's gonna get a
Oh,
homing
there we
attack
go.
on the counter. Finally got some damage on the board.
Especially-
Caught him with the 6Y and then the 5Y.
You know, some adaptation
Ooh,
is
very
exactly what
aggressive
Eclipse
there.
needs right now. Like,
Okay.
oh
Tries to go for
gosh.
That's the
aggressive
counter burst.
Shadowcat's not gonna deal with that. He's gonna pop burst. Jumps over.
Oh,
That's
let's
gonna
go.
catch. That's gonna be a nice critical hit anti-air burst attack. Good stuff there for Eclipse.
I think it's the first time where he's not trailing at such a huge deficit. As a matter of fact, now he finally has the lead
He needed to find something to work. If he had
compared to having to make a huge comeback.
I feel like it would have been like a hard hill to climb. But if you can even out 1-1 right here, it's so much more doable.
So yeah, this round is looking really good in his favor. Nice, he's catching the read there and caught the with 8Y. There's a 6Y. He's gonna JX. Again, he's gonna be countered CADC.
Hey, you see how much more aggressive he's actually getting much more momentum off of this just because of how much aggression he's putting on Shadowcat now.
So I mean, it's never out. He's never out of the game. It's not over till it's over.
Especially like the round started so poorly for Eclipse, and eventually just like something ticked.
I think this is really key here for Weavile to just maintain his pressure.
Don't let Shadowcat
Ooh, he's popping burst. He's putting
It could be a Shadowcat problem. We also saw that against Mutator, but
get the grab.
for him to really just maintain
people run Magus to get that attack.
dominance in the set and to be able to maintain just a healthy lead like this,
You kind of just have to take it.
you have to be aggressive for that kind of situation.
Ooh, okay, he's gonna burst up the homie one.
Like, you get
Shadowcat's
shit.
still walking.
It gets a little bit of the chip.
Extra movement, at least in terms of walk speed and
That was super wacky.
on deck. But
Togekiss does a lot of wacky things to the camera.
Fine landing.
yeah,
Okay, here we go. Shadowcat trying to find his way in, but man, it is just not.
Eclipse is weaving, and there's his weaving with Weavile. Right, and we got the homing attack in. Nice taunt.
Yeah, he's all the way to a
Again.
perfect himself.
Yeah, no, taking no damage. Just he might be shooting, but there's the chip damage, and unfortunately unrecoverable health. So maybe not perfect, but this round is definitely doable. Ooh, punishes the taunt with the 2 side beams there.
Eclipse needs to.
Yep, this is just some
Too much chip.
this is clean neutral from this point. Oh no.
I can't believe that hit. That was some sus hitboxes right there.
Ooh, there's a JX on his own.
That was super risky JX.
On the clock, he has the health lead right now. He's really close to meter. Togekiss is oh! Stuff. There's a 6Y.
Yeah,
There's
burst off
meter.
that. That's so good.
This would be
Sneaks
really
that win too.
7 seconds left on the clock.
Shadowcat needs to make a big
Tries
gap.
to jump in JA, but he gets JX for his trouble.
That's gonna be enough time. I think that's gonna do it. Yeah.
Choice
Yeah,
to.
Shadowcat's just gonna wait this one out and let that game go to Eclipse. Now, here we
Yeah, so that's good on Eclipse. He made a good adjustment right there to be aggressive when he can, and then once the timer gets low,
To have a chance in that round.
to just wait it out, because it's harder for Breakson to really hit to just push offense
That last time that I brought
when
up in this set was that he would get
there's not a lot of health to just keep
never close out. Kinda
that risk reward to going for it.
I'm like glad to see that he actually closed it out this time.
Right, yeah. He decided to commit more to the timeout
Yeah.
and just let it roll from there.
Which is great because that means he did study those sets. He did try to find improvement where he could.
I think now you're gonna see Shadowcat try to put more pressure onto Eclipse.
To the left and then grab.
Oh
Tries
no.
to dash grab again, but he's gonna get 8x crit for it. Took
Yep.
a lot of damage there. JY on shield. Ooh, taunt to Night Slash.
Good jump over.
After, but Shadowcat is out of there. From JA away.
This is super crazy right here. This is a lot of this is huge scrambles right here.
Tends to push a button.
And I think honestly Shadowcat most of the time wins scrambles.
It worked out in Shadowcat's favor. And we're going back to Field Phaser.
Shadowcat making the adaptation himself. He's playing so much more like over the place, trying to like match.
I think you could almost argue this matchup is just really health dependent,
Ton of damage right now.
because once as the one has the health, the other typically struggles when they're trying to get in.
He's rather look so close, and then you realize one person just was not getting hit the entire time.
It's just like it feels tight, but it really is just super one-sided. But it goes back and forth in rounds. So the set as a whole still's got this high-level anxiety and hype to it. Ooh, punish
Oh,
the
unfortunate.
This is the most
Back X.
one-sided close set I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh, got him with that CA there.
Think he tried to grab?
Dashes up. Ooh, high stance for whatever reason. Get caught by light screen.
I
Using an 8x. Punished it.
I forget what Weavile high stance even does. I never see it, so I don't like think about it at all.
Autocorrect. Yeah, honestly.
That was just a pure hard read to the agility.
Or rather, pure speed. Light screen.
Oh
It's a
no!
nutty call.
He's gonna do it.
He's got your reset. You have to be careful. Okay.
Light screen. JA.
No reaction to fully
Wow.
Right out of that flamethrower.
Could even
full
move
distance
like,
JA.
like, damn. Alright, but this is good for Eclipse because he burnt out
Eclipse's
so much
shield is
meter.
running pretty low though. He's gonna want to get out of this defensive situation. Ooh,
There we go.
on the counter.
Definitely need
This will
that
get him
meter.
out of the phase. Hopefully with stage control.
Yes, absolutely. He needs meter. Meter is integral to.
This is just really solid play now
That's how he pushes advantage of
from
pressure.
both players.
Oh, wait, I can get that second hand JX countered.
Yeah,
Doesn't go for the icicle cancel.
And Token's about to be up for this Breakson too, so he can potentially play the runaway game of Shadowcat.
Yeah, Breakson, however, does still have the health lead.
Oh.
Ooh, that light screen is just only going to enhance that more. 10 seconds left on the clock. Shadowcat's now
God.
trying to time an Eclipse. Oh, Eclipse trying to 6, so he's going to get side beam for his
Oh,
efforts. There's going to be a
no.
knock-off. It's going
Yep.
to be punished with
That's gonna close it right there.
He's gonna
This is
kill the
going to
timer.
be it. Yeah.
That
Eclipse
was
can
such a
really
clean
do
round
here.
too.
That'll be it. Yep.
Then once as soon as like that Token's came up, Shadowcat.
Man, that's so rough.
No need to approach. I'm already winning.
Just the entirety of this set is just who has the lead and who gets to camp it harder against the other character.
He's not even close to like building it back up. Sure, he got the taunts, but the taunts are also throwing him backwards, so he still have to re.
'Cause, you can see how much back and forth. There's a lot of tension between playing the neutral.
Risky.
Um,
Right. And the health was
arguably you could say that Eclipse is not really
light screen.
reacting to some of these full screen attempts or these full screen approaches from Shadowcat.
Interesting point about taunt, like,
So that's
but that makes
a little bit of an issue, but
then forward, 'cause you killed timer.
he's still keeping it really close overall. So that's the bigger point.
Smart play there by Eclipse, moving around the boomerang. Incredible maneuver.
Gets this chip here.
In and out. Nice grab on the fully charged counter right at the end. Now this is looking to be a lot.
See, now he has his big lead. So
There's a light screen. Didn't hit though.
Both these players are just adapting to each other.
now Shadowcat's gonna have to come in and actually threaten back.
Look one side when they're actually just like not. It's so crazy to look.
Wow,
at.
that clipped.
Shadowcat's already kind of like figuring out the adaptation now too. Starting to get that damage back.
Oh, jumps over the light
Good
screen.
jump over.
Sets the JX on block, but doesn't get fully charged. CA dashes back. Gets caught by the 8x into the JA. The pop burst in corner. Oh.
I'm actually surprised he forced out a burst so quickly from against Shadowcat. Like I didn't expect him to do it, and he got caught jump or like not jumping or like.
I'm not sure why he was expecting a grab there. That's
pretty
pretty.
much what it was called. I should-
Shadowcat hasn't really threatened grabs that often.
Weave's 8x. Yep, it's its grab crush. Ooh, again, very fast. Charged
nice.
it all the way, but Shadowcat's like, no, I'm just gonna back it.
Dude, he was on the sliver of that ice hitbox too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Again, the health advantage in Eclipse's favor. 14 seconds left on the clock. We're seeing a lot of timeouts here. We're getting
Oh.
down to the wire over and over. This is gonna be a nice ice punch.
Both these characters
Think
are
that's
just
gonna
trying to
do
help
it.
each other out, too.
There's not enough time to really get up close.
Eclipse can just icicle, taunt, and dash back.
Oh, there's the fake out. There it is. That face shift.
Yep.
is going to allow the timer to run just a tad bit more, and that will be Eclipse's round. Isn't it over just yet? Even though Shadowcat's only 2 rounds away from moving on to grand finals, Eclipse is definitely not out of it just yet.
Eclipse actually only needs 3 more now. And here we go. Back into the next round. Eclipse is playing a lot more like. Well, before he
So,
did that, he had
one quick thing I want to point out here. I think
Eclipse actually only needs 3 more now.
I find it a little bit awkward that Shadowcat is still going for these back Y attempts against Eclipse when most of the time he hasn't threatened it. He hasn't really jumped that often in fill phase. Excuse me. Most of the set has been ground based footsies here, between the ice traps and Breakson having the zoning from side Y. So I find it still awkward that he's going for back Y in a lot of the field situations.
Like smarter aggression, like he wasn't really overcommitting as much. Like he's
But sometimes Shadowcat's been good about getting those Toei Kiss walk-up grabs on Eclipse. Eclipse is getting really scared by that.
He's just straight burst out the corner. I like the early burst because it just gets him out the corner and it allows him to just press stage. Shadowcat has been constantly backing away because he just doesn't want to deal with Weavile in burst mode. So once that happens, it's just like, all right, just give me free real estate.
Fully charged CA, no burst on Wake Up from Shadowcat.
I think most of the general game plan of Shadowcat has been more moving back or more retreats than it is advancing forward.
Ooh, there's a 2x Toei Kiss pop. Now he's fast. He got some health back. There's going to be a walk-up grab. Eclipse is looking a little rough here.
I expect that he thought Shadowcat probably was gonna go backwards first and wasn't ready to react. But man, this is so hard now for Eclipse. because you have to deal with the super fast breaks in. But there we go. That's how you get it.
Pops it early.
He's almost got burst. He's got the 8Y.
Oh, no.
Drops the confirm. Okay, crushes down for some chip damage. 8Y is the 8X. Now he's got the health advantage. 4 seconds left on the clock. He has meter. He's going to have to use meter soon.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right. For far.
There's a pretty block. Oh! JA! Oh, and Eclipse.
That's so unfortunate, dude. Just not enough.
He's going to have to use meter soon. Yep.
Burst gave him just enough damage to be able to absorb that hit. If he didn't have any of that gray health, he would have lost that. That burst was so crucial for that moment, because if he had enhanced mode, he probably would have lost it. But super crucial.
Against Shadowcat.
That was crazy because like there was the drop 6Y. You're like, okay, this is probably it. And then it was like,
So now it's 2-2.
Like I snagged on the approach, and you're like, oh, that's probably it. But then no.
And I think at this point, both of the players have felt each other pretty. I've gotten an idea of just how both of them wants to play. Both of them actually have kind of similar play styles when we really think about it. Hey, what's up, Red Flare? What's good? Both of them have relatively the same play style in a sense. Where there's more retreating in neutral than it is of advancing forward, or at least like there's less contesting in neutral than it is for a lot of other players. You can kind of see that when you're playing against Mutator. Mutator, he's been able to press much more often against both of these guys. So it's kind of like who finally decides to approach in this matchup. And then you get a lot of scrambles because both of these characters are really safe.
And then people see it too and be like, dude, why'd you even switch?
Why'd you switch? Yeah, like that was not the play and whatnot. So smart of Shadowcat here.
Both of them are playing really tight because the scrambles have been pretty long each time it's happened.
Eclipse definitely has the momentum after winning that last game. Like he kind of has like that confidence now. It's like, okay, I can take it. Whereas Shadowcat lost his advantage now on both games that he was up. It kind of like forced out.
Just got home. Hey, I respect that. I got home. I like ran to work out, ran to shower. I got me a draw board, but the draw board feels very awkward to do, so I'm gonna have to find something else.
Oh no.
Oh, the hard read.
Because you're gonna use flamethrower. Oh wow, I didn't think that would combo, but that was so much damage. And now it's the rough part for Eclipse because he has to play not like that.
He's almost got meter, but oh no, he's being pushed more and more into disadvantage. This is looking like Shadowcat.
This is looking like back to game 1 around here.
Oh, the one time Eclipse is like, oh, he's gonna walk up, grab again. He tries to tech, and he gets caught.
Oh, and he got the CA. The one CA.
That's some nasty juice right here. So, the entire set has either been a walk up 8x, walk up grab, walk up 8x, walk up grab. And the one time where he finally wants to get it, he does walk up CA because he knows he's going to push a button in between the situation. That's deep level. That's some deep Yomi right there, knowing that the entirety of set that he's been doing that and hasn't done CA until that moment.
So oppressive. Eclipse is struggling here. Gets a knockoff, taking away that meter. CADC grab. Okay. All right. Eclipse is putting himself back on the map here. He's got full meter. We got pressure in field phase. Shadowcat wasn't blocking. Still doesn't have meter just yet. Quite close, however. And there it is.
And that's exactly what you need for your club. You need to stop that momentum, especially after round 1. It is hard to stop someone once they get going. To be able to stop it now is exactly what he needs, just to like recompose.
It's way more slowed down here.
Both players here. Now we got fast boys.
This is kind of like the example of what I'm talking about. Both players, they don't really want to approach, and their general game plan has been, or their general neutral game plan has been more retreat in their neutral. But you have this very extended movement happening. But that's the thing I'm also thinking. I feel like that Weavile does a better job being able to impose his will on Breakson than vice versa. Bait and punish. Most of the time, that's what's happening in neutral. Trying to find a bait just for somebody to throw out a move you can whiff punish, and then after that, that's when you're trying to get some damage in. But neither of them are wanting to give it out.
He's got the meter disadvantage, so he's definitely looking to win field if he can. Togekiss
He got nothing off Whimsical too, so like he has to wait his full time for support.
Yeah, see,
So this is
yeah, how close they're getting. They're only getting about Boomerang. He's getting a little bit closer to Boomerang's range, but they don't get close to each other at all.
because now he has to play for
And that's about as close as they've relatively gotten, unless one of them forced it.
Does he drop block to the JA into the flamethrower?
That's exactly what you don't want to see as Eclipse, because he can't have
There you go. He reacted, but no block.
He doesn't get it taunt. He's holding that nice left.
That JA has
Into the CX.
jank hitboxes.
Knockoff. Bring it down. What's the mix-up going to be on Burst Exhaust? Nothing. Just going to hold block on Shadowcat. She was going to nosedive after throwing the Icicle Crash down. He's got Togekiss up coming up really soon. Jumps over the 2X.
Scrambles.
Seeing all of that CDC
Oh, no.
grab. Okay,
Yes,
we're
burst.
going into Field Face. Now he has Meter and Togekiss. Shadowcats also have Togekiss, however. So it's not totally out of it just yet, but has no meter. There's going to be a Togekiss pop.
That was a good jump out. Most of the time, that really messes up. This breaks in 200cc. No, breaks in 150.
18 seconds left on the clock. Technically, Eclipse does have the health disadvantage, but now it is the health advantage, and he has burst. This is looking really rough for Shadowcat right now.
This is all
There's a
Eclipse's
burst
court.
activation.
This is Eclipse's game to lose now. Like this is
We got
anti
clipped by the
side.
flamethrower to
Oh
the 8X.
no!
He's got knocked out. What's it going to be? He ate it. Jumps over the 2X. Walks up. Bursts. Gets some.
Is this the punish here? Oh, no, you can't.
4 seconds left on the clock. He's jumping.
Oh, no.
He held
That's
the
it.
icicle. He held the icicle.
So-
he held it and he threw it down. He's gonna jump.
Real quick.
Got knocked out. What's it going to be?
This is Eclipse.
There's the health advantage, and he
This is two huge mistakes here. I think in this situation,
does have
Shadowcat kind of forgot just how powerful like either character with Togekiss is, and he was in burst mode, so it's even stronger, right?
18 seconds left
So-
on the clock.
No, he wasn't in burst mode. So
Does have the health
look how fast that
Turbo Foxy's.
Weavile's homing was in this situation.
Technically, Eclipse does have the health disadvantage, but
That's not reactable at all.
and he has seconds
Like you can't react to that. So for him to come this close is so risky in this situation at hand. 16 seconds left. He has just a slight health lead, and you're both Togekiss. So it's like, yeah, you could walk away, but you're not reacting to Weavile Togekiss from this range. That's not happening.
Eclipse does
And I think this is where downhill really went. Because once he thought about this and he just decided to walk close enough to it, there's no. This is when he took advantage of this whole situation. This is really good on Eclipse to know that once he got close enough, it's just going to instantly hit.
the health disadvantage, but
No reaction to that.
advantage, and
There's no way you can do it.
really
It has to be based off of a full read.
This is all Eclipse's
burst
court.
activation.
This is Eclipse's game to lose now. Like this is
Now, I think this is this is also another crazy part here. So during the whole entire scramble, 10 seconds to go, so there's still a lot of time left.
Eclipse's game.
Instantly jumps back, which is a lot of people's tendency to do once they get into a timing scramble and a health scramble in between the two. So his mind is already, I want to time you out. I don't want to confront you. I don't want to deal with it. But you're stuck in the corner. So being stuck in the corner over here, let me see if I can't do this. This is good. There we go. So with that right here, right? You're that's the wall. That's just how close it is to you. So if there's nowhere you can go, jumping is probably one of the worst situations in this spot, because of the fact that you jump, he gets big damage off of this, and Braixen gets big damage off of it just because of the coverage. And you can already tell once as it happens.
This is
This is looking really rough for Shadowcat right now.
This is all
There's
Eclipse's
burst
court.
activation.
This is Eclipse's game to lose now. Like
Right there. So already there's the wall. It's already set up. The wall's right there. This going to cover this whole situation right here. And that's where the wall splat happens. Once as you get that wall splat, it still hits, gets a wall splat, but I feel like what Shadowcat was really going for
side.
was trying to get a bigger combo, trying to time out the damage here. But that one was, I'm not exactly sure what
Shadowcat right now.
There's
other combo it could have been,
This Eclipse's game to
but I don't think an 8x was probably at that spot. I think maybe a 5x.
Oh, no.
He's got knocked out. What's it gonna be? He aced it.
That's definitely something that to be figured out right here, because at that range, like you just don't, you have no clue. Like, this is slightly further away than what you expect. So it's like being from that much space compared to when you're normally here. A lot more space in between. So this small space makes a huge difference between what combo you need to use, and that can really make things a problem. And that's what really did the thing, because once that you can see, that's not enough damage. Tries to get a whiff punish. Tries to get the whiff punish from the 8x, but it's just the entirety of the scramble. I think even going for this 2x for the whiff punish is such a risky option just because burst exists. Because of that, you get this chip damage at what? 5 seconds? 5 seconds with him being in this, with him having stage control now. So this is honestly like 3 crucial mistakes here for Shadowcat. One being in the fill phase. What's up, Pang? One being the fill phase. The second trying to whiff punish this when instead I think the bigger option is to control stage and get it off of the 6 seconds. At least with the 6 seconds, you have a better chance of trying to do that rather than having to try and get that whip punish at the last second. And then this is what happens. He gets all the stage. Now it's time for me to run, and Brixton can't really do anything from there. And there's no way you can hit flamethrower from that high. Not from that high. From that high it's impossible. So you can't do anything about it.